Keylonda, and I'm here to do this beginner-friendly New Year's Eve makeup look for y'all. So if you want to see how I achieve this look featuring some glitter, then you know what to do. Just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this Cetaphil lotion. It's for body and face. Hard Candy Pore-Defense Primer. And put that on the areas where I have trouble with my pores. Areas where I didn't put that, then I'm going to add this Ruby Kisses Never Touch Up Face Primer. It's the Fresh All Day Mattifying even finish. So that's going to go around the perimeters. And now on the areas that really get oily, the True Complexion Refining Skin Primer by Black Radiance. It's an oil-free formula matte finish. First things first, let's get these eyebrows going. I have these set of brushes that I got from Marshall's. I don't have the packaging, but they have the like copper metallic finish on them, and then the black handles. I've really been loving them because I guess it's like a travel size, and so it has the angle eyeliner brush, and that's what I use for my brows. Okay, and per usual, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Lock On Liner and Brow Cream in the color Espresso. I don't have any problems really with oil in my eyebrows. Some people have like oily brows, I guess, but I don't. So I'm just gonna put Milani eyeshadow primer on my eyelid. Let's go ahead and work on these eyebrows. I did upload a video of how I sculpt my brows, because as you can see, I have eyebrows, so it's not like I'm a person that really needs to fill in as far as thickness, but excuse me, I do like to add some shape to them, so that's why I call it sculpting. And I do have a preference for cream products. That's just my thing. So I just take the brush, go into it, and make sure that I put it on the side of the brush so that it makes it a thin line, and just add little by little the product. So if you need you know, detailing up close of how I do my eyebrows, then I'll upload a little thingy bobby so that you can watch that video. Okay. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. You can kind of blend that down as a base if you want to. But y'all know my base that I like to use is NYX eyeshadow base in white. Just putting that on, and basically you use kind of like a swiping patting motion, and this is just a type of product that basically cancels out somewhat the color of your eyelid to give you better color payoff of your eyeshadows, okay? If you are someone who has trouble with eyeshadow getting everywhere, or you're brown skin and you want your eyeshadows to pop, that's what you do. You put down a base. So I'm going into my Naked Smoky palette, and the color is Armour, that I'm going to put on my lid, or Armour, whatevs. I'm trying to cover the mirror so I don't blind you. It's this shade right here, and I'm going to use this Wet n Wild little flat shader brush. Ooh, this is a nice mirror. That's the mirror I'm gonna use. And I'm patting my brush down pretty hard to pick up the product, in like a swiping motion to pick it up. And then I'm gonna take that same motion on my eye. And today, actually, my eyeshadow will be what basically sets that base into place. Some people use like a translucent powder. I'm just gonna press my eyeshadow into that base to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere and doesn't crease. So be sure to stay right there where you put the base. Don't be moving all around too much. Just stay right there, okay? I zoomed in here so that you can get a nice look at what I'm doing, okay? So I'm taking my brush down into the palette with a swiping motion, like a patting motion, and I'm taking that same kind of firm patting motion. I mean, don't poke your eyeball out, but that same patting motion and putting the product onto my eye. And I'm also just staying right where I put that base. Don't worry about the fact that it's not blended yet. We're gonna blend, trust me. And leave the outer third or fourth alone, because we're not gonna put this color there. And what you do to one eye, you do to the other. The color in this same palette called Whiskey, that brown. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush. So here's the difference. When we place down the color that we wanted on the lid, that we really want to give full color payoff, we use this short little stiff brush, okay? The bristles are so tightly packed that it barely moves. So it's just gonna lay that color down. When you do something into your crease that you want to be diffused, you want it to look blended, seamless, to where you can't tell where one color ends and the next begins, you use something fluffy, okay? See how these move, okay? So that's what we're gonna go into with that whiskey brown color, okay? So I take my brush and I just swipe back and forth in the color. And I use that same swiping motion in my crease. I start at the outer part and just work my way in to blend out the edge of that Armour color. Okay. We're gonna move up a little bit. So I'm taking the brush that came with this palette, and it's dual ended, so it has a fluffy part on this end and then a stiff pencil end. We're gonna take that fluffy end and we're gonna go into Password. It's right next to Whiskey, and we're gonna move a little bit above that. So I'm placing it kind of like here, okay? And we're gonna just blend it out. Okay, Password. Right now it's looking kind of splotchy. I'm gonna go into my Huda Beauty Textured Shadows palette, the Rose Gold edition, this one. And there's a color in here that I love to use to warm up my crease. And that color is Sandlewood right here. Okay. So I'm taking a different fluffy brush. This one is by Wet n Wild. And it's, you know, fluffy just like the other one. It's actually a little bit bigger. Because we're really going to diffuse the color with this Sandalwood. And I'm using that circular kind of swiping windshield wiper motion to pick up the color. And then I'm going to go above the lid and just swipe that color back and forth. Back and forth. And it's just going to help us, and you can pick up a little more product. It's just going to help us to diffuse that so that we don't look like a raccoon. Okay, so you see this one's blended more than this one. We're going to keep blending because we don't want that harshness to be on the eye. The only time we really go for a harsh line is if we want a cut crease. Now I'm basically going to go in the same spot here, but with another shade from that palette. It's right next to it. And that color is called Henna. And Henna is like this burnt orange kind of brick color. That's also a color that's very good to use in your crease if you are a little bit pigmented, melanated, right? Then you can use a burnt kind of brick reddish color there as well. So we're just going back in that same area that we did the Sandalwood and just blend that color into the crease just a little bit. Okay, not as much as the Sandalwood because this color is very pigmented. And I'm lightly holding it to the skin. I'm not pressing down and swishy swashing, okay? I'm just lightly blending like a feather, tickling the skin, okay? And you can see that added a very nice effect to the look. Very nice effect to the look. It's not so harsh. It really looks pretty to me, okay? Now I'm just going to take this tiny little detailer brush. It came in a set that I got from Amazon, okay? I'm going back into that Smoky palette. There's a color called Combust, right by Whiskey. And we're going to take that and just set the brow bone area. So this is like another tapping motion. Press, 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 slide. Press, 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 slide. Okay. Going back with that same brush. On the other side of it, and we're going to add a touch of shimmer right under the highest point of the brow. Okay, and that's funny because this color is called High. Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of that High, very gently just tapping my brush, and then I'm going to just put it right underneath the high part, just there. Then I like to use my pinky finger. So if you have tiny fingers like some ladies, then it's a perfect tool to use to just blend that out, okay? The same thing here in that inner tear duct area. Just a little tap and blend it out with the brush. Because my finger doesn't fit well in that spot. Otherwise, I would use my finger there too. Now I'm going to take the brush that came in the Smoky palette and I'm going to flip it over and use that pencil brush end. And I'm going to go into the color Smolder right here. And then I'm going to go into the color Black Market, and I'll let you know when. So we're going into Smolder first, and we're just going to tap that on for the outer portion of the eye. So in this area, we almost make like a C shape here. Okay. So that's the Smolder. It's like a deep purple, like a little C shape in the outer corner. Okay. And then we're gonna take the black market, and it's just gonna be the very outer part, not even moving it in anymore, just right there. And I'm just literally swiping in a C shape, but this is gonna be a lowercase c. The Smolder was a capital and the black mark is the lowercase c. So now we got that. It's looking really splotchy, right? So if something's looking splotchy, that means you blend. So we're gonna take that fluffy side and do circular motions like that, and watch what happens. You stay right in the area where you placed it, right? And just do circular motions, and then you kind of swipe the area where the color should overlap, or either you can tap, but those are the type of blending motions that we use, okay? And you have to be very careful with your dark colors, very careful with your dark colors, because you can always build them up. You don't want to put so much that you spend 30 minutes blending when you could just build them gradually and spend maybe 10 minutes blending. All right, I think that looks very cute. So now we're gonna move on to the fun part, even though blending is very fun, and that's gonna be the glitter. All of these things, you're really using them at your own risk, because technically these are face and body glitters, not necessarily that they've been approved to put on the eye or near the eyes, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze a little bit out onto the back of my hand. It's like a beige color paste, okay? And I'm gonna use the little synthetic brush that came with the e.l.f. Lock and Seal. Okay, and I'm going to show you how lately here I've been doing glitter when I do it. I don't usually do glitter on myself. It's usually on other people for, you know, special occasions and whatnot. So we're only going to go in the area where we added that slate sparkly gray color and add some glitter on top. So that's where we're going to put the adhesive. I have to be careful because my right eye has a huge crease in the middle of it that definitely doesn't match my left eye. So I really have to almost look down when I do it to make sure that I get that crease area blended out. So I'm doing a patting motion with this product and just putting it everywhere where I want some glitter. Okay, then you want to take totally different brush, right? But you also want to make sure that it's synthetic. That's what I would use, something synthetic. And pick up your glitter with that brush and then pat. And if you pat instead of swiping, it really should make sure that it doesn't fall out as much, okay? But we are also taking precaution for that because we haven't put our foundation on. So any glitter, we could get it off without messing up our foundation. So we're just going to pat. Get you some more glitter. Get you some more. And I'm just patting along the area where it's going to begin to overlap with that smoky smolder color in the outer V. Okay. And it's just like anything else. It may not be enough the first time. You may have to go back and do a second coat or something like that, okay? But we're gonna let that set. We're gonna go on to the other eye. You really don't have to put it all the way to the bottom close to your lashes because you're going to need that space for a liner. Okay, if you want, you can add more glitter. You can mix different glitters to get your own, you know, custom look that you want. I'm just gonna take this dry brush and see if I can brush away some of the fallout. Really quickly. Another trick to do, just to make sure that once your glitter is in place, you can take a little bit of your lock and seal and a drop onto your synthetic brush. Okay, there's a bubble on there. And you can just pat over it. Fluffy brush from Wet n Wild that we use to blend out the crease, and I'm just gonna go sweeping into the crease very carefully, just to make sure any glitter that so happens to have transferred up there is gone. Go in with that pencil brush, the end of that Urban Decay brush, and just go back and make sure that we deepen that smoky look, because New Year's Eve is a perfect time to just smoke it out, honey. Okay, for my wing liner, I like to use an angle brush. I'm also going to grab my Fergie Wet n Wild's cream eyeliner. Sometimes I'm going to take that same brush from my eyebrows, go into the liner. Remember we said swipe it on the sides to help you get that brush into a really skinnier line, okay? And then get you some product on the tip or the edge of the brush, okay? And I use the back of my hand to swipe it together, make a thin line. Go here first and make that little fleeky line. And then I like to come from the line, fill it in, and then make part of it there. And you may need a little more product, not much, a little bit at a time. Then we're gonna work in and out, okay? So I'm going here, very lightly, small strokes, right above the lashes. Okay, right above the lashes. And if your eye skin is kind of loose, you can always tug it so that you get that nice clean line that you want. I'm just taking baby strokes. To fill it in. Okay, and that now if you want to and you prefer the look of a liquid liner, this Revlon colorstay liquid liner is really nice. I don't like liquid liner, but this one has this nice little foam type tip, and you can go over your little wing there to make it like, you know, real fleeky and whatnot. So I'm gonna do that. Pro Lengthening and Thickening Mascara. And this is just going to coat my upper lashes to prepare for my false lashes. These are the Kiss Natural Flourish Blooming Lashes in the style Daisy. They're just rose gold regular tweezers. Duo adhesive, the lash in my hand with my tweezers, and just go along the lash strip with the adhesive. Give a little special attention to your outer and inner corners, or the tips of the lashes on the lash band, should I say, the tips of your lash band. I've worn these before, so they're kind of dirty. Don't judge me, but I just wanted to make sure that I was showing you products that you could actually go out and get, so you can mimic this look if you want to, okay? This lash glue sets pretty quickly. You want to give it a few seconds, or 20 or 30, to make sure that it's actually sticky before you try to go sticking it to your lashes, to your lash line, okay? So what I like to do is hold my lashes out from my eye, and I'm gonna go up and down when I place them, okay? I'm not gonna try to go right at my eye because I'm gonna miss. So I'm going up, and you can actually look down into your mirror like that rather than trying to look straight ahead, okay? Look down into your mirror, go up, and try to land the middle section first. Once you've got that middle section, snuggle it down to your lash line. Do the outer portion, snuggle that down to your lash line, and then work on your inner portion. Okay. And just make sure you're pressing that in to where it needs to be. Then I kind of use the tweezers and squish everything together. And then use my fingers and just press it into place. Okay? And you can always go in with some of your liner. And if your lashes has like a clear band, or they're old like mine and got a little eyeshadow on them or something that you haven't cleaned off because you live in Trife, and just swipe a little liner over them, and over that lash band, should I say, and that'll help to disguise the band a little bit. Let's move on to the face. Milani Conceal and Perfect foundation. The shade I have is 14 Golden Toffee. Okay, so I'm gonna pump some of that, 2 pumps, onto the back of my hand, and this can be found at the drugstore. Okay, so I'm just basically dabbing my face. Don't worry about getting too close up under the eye, because we're going to highlight under there. Okay, so that's going to basically be concealer underneath there. And now I'm going to go in with Toffee, my LA Girl Pro Concealer. These are beauty supply store products in case you're not familiar with them. So I'm going to take that Toffee, go underneath the eye. Be generous with the product for the under eye area, okay? And then I just kind of lightly go along my nose and forehead, just because I don't really have much nose. And that's that. I take it here just a little there as well, not too much, okay? On only in the under eye area for a little extra brightness. Now you want to be careful about this. If you're not too proficient at blending, then just stick with something that's closer to your skin tone. So maybe like one shade lighter. Okay, so my little beauty blender is still pretty damp. It's still pretty soft. And we're going to start to blend. And this is, again, just patting motions. Remember, blending can be patting. So we're patting. I don't want to ruin all that hard work. And if you need to, you can take the same brush that you use to conceal underneath your brows and just go ahead and make yourself that line there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Powder. It's oil absorbing. This is a sheer matte finish. Okay, you want to be very careful with products like these, especially when you're going out for a night of fun, girl, because you want to make sure it's blended. You want to just be very light-handed with this. I'm not baking or none of that. So I got some on my sponge. You can use a brush if you want to, or a cosmetic wedge, and you just literally pressing it in. Grab it. Now once you do that, then you can go in with whatever kind of colorful powder or tinted powder that you want. What I use in drugstore product is the Black Radiance Soft Focus Powder, Soft Focus Finishing Powder in Golden Almond. So I take that Golden Almond, I swirl my sponge around in it, and I simply go under the eye and press that product in. And that's going to give me a little bit of color back underneath there. Okay. Then for the rest of the areas I highlighted, I'm only using Golden Almond. The bottom end of the sponge and go into this Milk Chocolate. It's the same product, a different shade. You can see I use these. I hit pan on both. And I'm going to press it in around the mouth area because that's where I tend to crease more so than under the eye. Now I'm going to use the big fluffy brush and go into the Milk Chocolate and just set the rest of my face. So I'm swirling and blending. Swipe the excess powder from under your eyes as you go. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Blush and Bronzer Duo in Turks and Caicos. And I am going to contour or bronze up my face, should I say. So I'm going into the darker side. Pressing my brush into it. This is a stiff brush, so it's going to lay down that color. And I'm going to make a line. Then I'm going to get some more product and take an angle to meet that line. Just take a little bit, go down here. Give me a little shake back to my little nose. Go around the hairline. And under the chin area. And this is a bronzer. It's not really a contour shade because it's not that grayish brown. Blush side, that's pretty much like a highlighter. So we're going to take a little bit of that on a fan brush and just put some on the high points of the cheek. Okay. On the high points of the cheek. to give us a little glow. Now I'm going to use my middle finger, put it on the nose, blend it with the ring finger. Y'all know how I do. Okay. And I like to have some above the lip. Right there on the cupid's bow. Okay. You can use your finger if you want to intensify it. And then use your brush to blend it out. Now you can also go in back into that Naked palette and that high color that we use to highlight on the face. You can take that and that'll really send it into like Mars and Jupiter where they can see it from there, honey. Okay, so you can do that as well. You can use eyeshadows as highlighters. There is no rules to what you can do. Okay, so we got that. Now we're gonna do a little bit of blush. This is another drugstore, not drugstore, beauty supply store product. I'm gonna take this shade right here and use it as my blush. I'm not a huge fan of blush, so I don't put a lot. All these are mattes and it's by Beauty Treats. Okay, so I'm just taking a little bit of that blush on my brush and I'm gonna dab it on the cheeks. Dab it on the cheeks and blend it out. Blend it like into that contour. And it just kind of helps everything to just flow together from highlight to blush to contour. I like to do it that way. Well, let's go ahead and close out the eyes. That's what I call it when I go to the bottom lash line and give it some attention. Okay. You can use the Fergie Wet n Wild liner, you know, just right along here in the waterline. I only do the outer third. Y'all know that's my thing. That's up to you. I'm going to go into that Smolder color again on the same angle brush from the liner and just blend that in along that outer portion. Little tiny brush that I use for that brow bone highlighted inner corner highlight and just retouch the one in the inner corner at the bottom. And you can moisten your brush if you want to. Okay, then I'm gonna go into Armour, that's slate color, and just blend that. To join those two colors together. Now I'm just taking that eyeshadow brush that we used to lay down the slate on the lid and just blend the colors together. Now we're going to take some mascara and go on the bottom lashes. The Great Lash Mascara in the pink tube. That's one. This one will be a little bit more expensive. I don't even know how much because I only have samples that were given to me. But this is Lancome. And I know they sell like Macy's and stuff like that. But I have the primer, which is the white one. And then the mascara, the black mascara. Sure other companies make mascara primers or you know something to that effect to really make your bottom lashes pop. If you really prefer a dark smoky look on the bottom lash line, you can use a kohl pencil in that waterline. The only one I have is from Stila. This one. And you can get these at like, you know, makeup stores like Sephora. But you can put that, you know, right there in that waterline. Okay, but I really don't prefer something dark there. for me personally. Now let's move on to the lips really quickly. I'm going to show you two options you can try for your lips. This is the Bold Lip Liner by Decay, and this is just the dark brown. Okay, so the first lip can be something nude if you're not one for color on the lips. Take this e.l.f. Luscious Liquid Lipstick in Brownie Points. e.l.f. is sold at like Target, even Old Navy. Okay, so this is gonna be our glossy nude, and it's really not a lipstick, it's a lip gloss. Okay, and you can do that. I would take the Plum Bold Lip Liner by Decay. Again, that's beauty supply store. Fill in your lips with the liner just to help it to last, okay? This is a Vaseline Lip Therapy in Cocoa Butter. And I'm going to take a little bit of that. Right on the center of my lips. And it's actually not very drying. This is the Ruby Kisses Creamlicious Triple Butter Matte Cream. It has mango butter, shea butter, and cocoa butter. That's what they say. This is in the shade Sipping Wine RSMC07. So the last step is to spray your makeup. This is a beauty supply store product, the Ruby Kisses Never Touch Up Setting Spray. 24-hour lasting wear. Prevents makeup meltdown. It has temperature control, and it's oil free. Let that dry. And this is the finished look, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this look. Please let me know if you try it out, and if you're on Instagram, tag me on Instagram at Graced Face. That's GRACEDFACE, and let me know how your look turned out. Thanks for watching.